Hi there, guys. Um, so today's video, I want to talk about something that I just continue to see happening. I want to remind us of things that were said that has led to this point. We seem to have a really short memory in America because they love to throw this at us and that at us, and before this is even done, or you never get an answer to how that actually played out, and then they throw in some more stuff at you, and that's all intentional. um yeah, it's all done intentionally, but I want to refresh some of you guys memories, and I want to help you guys see that this is actually a prophecy that has come to pass, and I don't know how many of us are really actually looking at it and noticing it as such. um So I'm going to go back to a few years ago now, when uh, Kevin Samuels was all the rage. I mean, men loved him, a lot of women loved him. I mean, it was bigger than Jesus, bigger than the Bible. His word was gospel, no matter what, how, when, who, any background to it, any merit to it, whatever, his word was gospel. People are still going by the philosophy of what he said, even though we're seeing it every day break down. We're seeing them for the lies that they were. We're seeing the rhetoric for just simple hate of Black women and women in general. Uh, and so, but people forget that, you know what I'm saying? People want to remember, you know, oh, he was a good guy, and oh, he was helping the Black community, and he saved so many lives, and anyway. So um, Mr. Samuel spoke about winter coming. He was using an ideology, or he was using a oh, what's the word I'm looking for? He was using a an example. I'll say that's not the word I want, but he was talking about, basically, in a nutshell, this time when Black women are going to be desolate, Black women are going to be without men, Black women are going to be suffering, Black men, and this is not just him. This is really, really big prophecy, in especially in the Black manosphere, that they want to happen. Um, Black women were just going to be, yeah, dying alone with cats. Is literally his prophecy. And so we know how things played out with him, but his prophecy is still living on, in that so many men are still wanting those things to happen, and even actively trying to bring them to pass. However, the thing about putting a curse, if you will, or bad luck, or wishing ill on people, is the fact that there's a such thing called karma. There's a such thing as universal laws, that when you're ready to put your mouth on someone or something or whatever, you need to be cognizant of the fact that that very same thing can happen to you. And especially if you're kind of more in line for it to happen to you anyway than the person you're trying to curse. So, with that said, setting that stage, you know, there was so much about Black women going to be lonely, and Black women aren't going to find a man, and Black women are just going to die alone in houses with a bunch of cats, and you know, yeah, that's how it's going to happen. And Black men are going to soar, and Black men are going to, have all the world's choice of women. They're going to prosper and be successful and have money and go travel and live it up and do this. And, it's just going to be a whole new world open up for Black men. while black women slowly died, lonely, alone, desolate, face cracked, body fat, sick, hurt, broke, dying, the smelly, nasty house with cats. I mean, just in desolation. So now that I painted the picture of what so many still want, the thing about it is that what has been on my heart, because I have a heart. A lot of people don't. A lot of people really just wallow in their bitterness. They wallow in their hate, and they can't see outside of the box that they have created for themselves. I can. And with that being the case, men, by and large, are kind of still putting out that type of rhetoric. They're still saying that, oh, men are the prize. Men are, especially the older you get, men just get better, better, better. They have more money. They have this, they have that. They have the pick of the women. All the women want older men. Um, Men are just, I mean, it's just a utopian world for men. And all women are just, we already painted the picture. However, what I keep seeing on YouTube, on places like Reddit, on so many different social media platforms, is actual true men out of their own mouths coming out to say, I'm lonely. I'm tired, which is how the one that really brought about this video, that's how he started his. I'm tired. And I'll tell you the rest, but that's how he started it. I see things like, what's the use of going on? I see things like, uh, I'm done. I see posts like, um, is it ever going to get any better? And these are posts by young men. Um, and it's also feeding. Let me just throw this part in before I forget it. It also is feeding even a video that I made maybe a year or two ago, where I was talking about how at the crux of all of the hate, the despair, the negativity that these young men are getting, who most of them have not even gone out and had a full life yet, because they are young, is disgruntled, bitter, hateful older men, mostly in my generation. I'm Gen X. And older millennials, I'm going to have to throw in there too, that are in their 40s. And they are painting and have continued to paint such a picture of despair for relationships, about women, um, about love, like all of this. And many times these are men who have already had relationships and children and grown children, and they've had women and so forth. And many of them that are so bitter are bitter because they fumbled. They fumbled the good ones. They fumbled their marriages. They did whatever it was that they did, many of them. And I'm not saying that some women weren't at fault or whatever. I'm not saying that this is the case across the board. But normally, when you get to really getting into the meat of it, you're going to find, if you're not being biased and you're looking at both sides evenly, that many times it was a man's cheating, or some type of his mistreatment or narcissism, or just something that kind of caused the woman to do what she did, and then the desolation of the marriage. Of course, it takes two. But the point that I'm trying to make is that so many times, um, these men have done things in their marriages and relationships, and even with their kids, to cause them to not even like them anymore. Like we see what happens on Father's Day. And these things continue to happen over and over and over again. And those are the men, if you ask me, Many of them are the men that sit on these posts and tell these young men, "Oh, don't do it, son. Oh, don't do it. I'm the older man." And, women just aren't worth it. And, the women, they're going to take everything you have. And, they're going to make your life miserable. And you're going to have to spend this and spend this. And I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost my career. I lost everything behind women. And post after post after post after post is what you get. And in my opinion, these older, bitter men don't even have a reason to be talking to these young men. But I said this a long time ago, that is what's happening. This is what's out there. And they are the ones that are on these posts about dating and marriage and all these things, seem like to purposely discourage these young men, to purposely don't even give these young men a chance to try. They got them scared as shit. These young men are scared as hell to approach a woman, to talk to a woman, like, so many of them have not even put their foot in the water. Let's go back to the guy that really, kind of got me wanting to talk about this. This was on Reddit. Yeah, I got into space where many of them are, where they tell the actual truth. They tell the truth. You can find a lot of truth in comment sections. You really can. Because and on some spaces, men are not going to expect you to be there. So they're more open and free to talk about things like all male posts and uh, these bloggers and podcasts who are aimed at men. They don't really look for women to be there. So a lot of times they're a lot more honest. And this is where I get all my information. Places like this. And so this young man, 27 years old, he said, 'cause I read it twice, and I'm going to just kind of paraphrase what he said. He was 27 years old. He said that he had never had a girlfriend, said he's never kissed a girl, said he's never had sex, said that he's tired because it's not like he said, basically, what's the use? He said, I'm going to the gym. That's key. He said, I'm going to the gym. He said, I'm stacking my money. I work. Matter of fact, he said, I got my own car and I got my own home. This kind of leads me to think that he's probably a Caucasian man, because a lot of other times for, men of color, it doesn't work that way that soon. A lot of 27-year-old black men, uh, you know, are they're not in that space. They're just not. It just kind of leads me to believe he is a Caucasian man. I could be wrong. Actually, it really doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, he has all of this. He said he's done all of these things. And he was like, it's not doing any good. I'm still not dating. He said he even went into talking about dating profiles. He said, I'm on dating apps and I get passed over, and no woman ever clicks on me. No woman ever wants to talk to me. There was, maybe like the week before or earlier that week, there was a 23-year-old young man, 23, who said that he was balding. And he said, I feel so embarrassed. I feel so unattractive. He said, I feel like that because of, he didn't call it rhetoric. I'm calling it rhetoric. But because of the mindset that keeps being pushed out here by other men, that all women want the Chad. I'm just going to say Chad all women want the Chad. All women want the Chad. That is the rhetoric that's out there. So literally, if you're not Chad, making six figures, got you got a tight six pack, and you got money, and you're single and you're free and everything, and you can, have the pick of the litter of women, then no other woman wants any other kind of man at all, period. That is the mindset that's out there. And these young guys who are still very impressionable, even though they're men, they're old enough to be called a man, you know, still mentally, they are very impressionable. And add that with the fact that most men listen to other men. Most men don't listen to women. A woman can tell a man this. 5 women can tell a man the same thing that's true. And if one man comes along and be like, "Oh man, you don't believe that man, that stuff ain't true," it's going straight out the window. He's going to believe that man, whether that man wants the best for him, whether that man is just talking shit, whether that man is drunk, whether that man don't know what the hell he talking about. He's going to believe the man, because that is just the way this society, through patriarchy and misogyny, um, has been set up. Women don't believe women. Women are emotional. Women don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. They too emotional. Everything is emotional with women. Don't listen to them. But a man telling you anything is gospel. Is gospel. I don't care how you may have to maneuver, pull rocks, pull up trees, go out of space and everything to make what that man say even be remotely logical. Still, other men are going to believe it. And they're going to run with it. They're not only going to believe it, they're going to live their life by that. And so with all that said, this is what I see so many of these young men doing. I see these young men just running with the rhetoric of podcasts and manosphere and red pill behavior, which all has their own agenda. It's so much deeper. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. And they believe they believe collectively the same things about women. With that being said, the ideology out there is that all women want Chad. Period. They don't want any other man. So this guy, back to the 23-year-old, this guy was discouraged as hell. I mean, dude was almost like talking like he want to off himself, because he literally is saying he has absolutely no chance with women, period, anymore, because he's lost his hair. What's sad about it is the fact that it's stupid. Not him for thinking that way, but it's stupid to think that every single woman on the planet. Okay, let's give him some grace. Let's say all the women in America. That's still a whole hell of a lot of women. All those women want one man, and every other man has no other chance. But yet, these old, bitter, lonely, single men are running after the women in those age groups. They're trying to get that 23-year-old man's women in his age bracket. The 27-year-old man, even though he getting kind of close, because they have this thing that once a woman get 30, 31, 32, she hit the wall. That's it. It's done. So he getting kind of close, but still he's in the age bracket to where these older men in their late 40s and 50s and 60s and beyond want those young women in those age. So those men literally are competition. And so they're trying to knock them out of that space. And the thing that I have learned, and that I think other men don't look at it, is how much men are haters. Men just in general are haters. They're competition. They're very competitive minded. Everything is competition to them. And these are things that I had to realize. And their mentality is competing, fighting, warring, go get this, get it in any that's how just men are just, they're wired. That's just how they're wired. Not like I say, I had to realize this, but other men especially younger men, they don't look at it like that. They're looking at their homie or their dad or whoever they're getting information from, as long as it's another man, is telling them the truth. Like they want their best interests. They have their best interests at heart. Where in reality, these older men are out there like they trying to tell these young women, oh well, he don't have nothing to offer you. He in college. He don't have anything to offer you. He just starting his career. I got money. I got a home. I got a car. I got such and such, such and such. So it benefits these older men to knock these young boys out of the competition. They want their women and their haters. But these young men don't believe that, but that is exactly what's happening. It's these older toxic men and men with this manosphere, red pill rhetoric, mindset and ideology that these guys are going to listen to. Oh, let me tell you how to get a woman. Oh, let me tell you what women like. Oh, so these guys literally are going to these podcasts and everything for, them to give them advice like that. That's what they're looking for. When in reality, there's a very nefarious, um, thing behind what these guys are being told and why. It's because your competition, you are young. You do have a young type body. You're just starting your life. Like you have everything in front of you. But these older, bitter men who, have fumbled their chance and probably getting ready to be old, sick, and dying and lonely, they want those young women because most of them mentally can't handle a real, true adult female relationship. So that's why they look for children and very young women. When those men should not even be anywhere, like, yo, those are the dad ages. Like that's the dad. Let your son have his woman. But you out here trying to get the woman too. And like I say, these men are not looking at that. But at the end of the day, as I get ready to close this video, there is so many. If you just go through and look and follow, you're going to see a whole bunch of new videos since the Kevin Samuels era, since this whole manosphere and all this stuff, and since women have taken a break from dating. They said they're not doing the toxicity. They say that they're just not dating. If y'all think that we need you to pay for our meal and you got a huge problem with that. We're gold diggers because you expect the man to pay, or guys want only 50-50 relationships, but with all the marital benefits and all of these things that you guys keep saying that you want. And that's how relationships should be structured. And we don't listen to women, and we don't do this, and we want our grandmother's time back, and we want this because we want to literally control and dominate women because we feel like weak men. Yeah, I threw that in there. But that is the aim and the goal for wanting a sweet little quiet housewife who just does whatever you say, and she sits behind you and she keeps her head down and she doesn't talk until she's spoken to, and she's having as many babies as you want, and she's being superwoman, and she works and she cooks and she cleans and she takes care of you, and you get sex 2 times a night and 7 days of the week and everything. That's the kind of woman that y'all want. And why? Why? Why would you even want? I wouldn't even want. I'm not a man, but I wouldn't even want a woman like that. Because what the hell are we gonna talk about? What are we going to do? What are we? I mean, that's like. And I think I've made this example before. That's like in the movie Coming to America when the princess is sitting there telling Eddie Murphy, "Whatever you want." Oh, well, what kind of books you like to read? Whatever kind of books you like to read. Oh, well, what kind of music do you like? Whatever kind of music you like. That's what these men are literally asking for, and you might as well go get a dog. Like, how does that stimulate you? A woman with no opinion, a woman with no education, a woman with no, we don't care about your degrees. Da, da, da. I don't get it, and maybe, like I said, maybe because I'm not a man, I don't get it. I don't understand that mindset of why you would even want someone like that. Like, but anyway, that's what they say they want. But the ending of this video This whole video is talking about the fact how we are now seeing winter. And we're seeing winter, unfortunately, in a bunch of young men. Because these men are just like totally in despair. A lot of men, even in their 30s. These men are going away, going up to the mountains. They're sad. They're lonely. They have nothing. They're feeling like, what's the use? I can't get a woman. I don't want a woman. All women want chads. So what's the use in trying? They literally bought into the lie. And it's sad and discouraging to me because as an older woman, as a Gen Z woman, I remember dating. I remember, usually dating and stuff started in your teens. Like you like some little boy in your class. Like I don't even know if that's happening anymore because even of the teenage boys' mindset, all young little black boys are not even really trying to even try to date a black girl. They're going straight to some other race of young girls. And what's sad about that is the fact that how you know you don't like a black girl? Like you're literally buying into rhetoric. How do you know if Maria is going to be better for you than the black girl? How do you know? You've never had one. And that's the thing. And that's the thing that I keep saying that is happening even with so many of these young men. They're getting all this horrible advice about divorce and taking your money and losing your house before they even start their lives. They don't have no house. They don't have, like this young man talking about he ain't never even kissed a girl. I see so many of those posts. And these guys are literally talking on the verge of not wanting to be here. Like that's how serious it is. That's what made me want to do a video about this because these men can get on comment sections and they can make these posts and they could talk about how men are divesting and men are just done with it and men are just fed up and men don't want women anymore. But at the end of the day, y'all say that. That's fine. That's cool. Because first of all, y'all full of shit too. But y'all can say that. But the ones that is actually really truly affecting are talking about they don't want to be here. They're talking about how extremely lonely they are. They're talking about how. Because see, here's the thing that gets me. All these men online tell these guys all this information and how horrible it is and how you don't even need to go out there and put your foot in the water. Like women are just, that's it. Ain't no good women out there at all, period. So these young men are being told literally in so many words not to even try because it's discouraging as shit. Like I read some of these comments and be like, God damn, like shit, like it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not even a man and I feel discouraged. Like, damn, bro. Like, it's crazy. And so what do you think of them? Because this one young man, let me close with him. That one young man, the 27-year-old, basically his mindset, like I said, was what's it all for? I'm going to the gym. I have money, got a house, got a car, got all these things. For like what? The other men, when there are other men, because in reality, most of those guys they're not these young men's friends. Most of these young men really, truly, and even the older ones, they don't have no friends. Their life and friends and people that they talk to and communicate with are all online. That's why the hell they're so lonely. But all the other men just kept telling these guys, oh, well, you just keep doing what you're doing and you're doing fine. You're going to be okay. And, yeah, you just keep going, just keep working out and, just keep stacking your money and focus on yourself and blah, blah, blah. And all of that sounds good until the reality of the fact that, but I'm in my bed alone. That's when that shit start hitting you. When you're realizing that I got a whole house to myself and I'm just walking around it, and after I come home from the gym and after I come home from work, I still ain't got nobody to talk to. I still don't have nobody to hold. I don't have a woman to make love to, because that really seems to be the driving force of most men, you know. And that's fine. I'm not even saying nothing about that. Sex is important. But still, what do I have after I come home from the gym and work? What do I have? I don't understand this whole thing of pushing the gym and making money, the gym and making money. Now, I'm going to throw this in real quick. I do see somewhat of a benefit of the gym, only in the sense that it does take away a lot of these guys' frustration, because these guys are frustrated as shit, sexually frustrated and frustrated, period. Many of them are mad at women because of all of the bullshit rhetoric that they believe. And so that's why you get a lot of incel violence. That's where you get a lot of men being violent and aggressive toward women. And so even though it seems silly to me, I still want to champion, in a way, the going to the gym and working that frustration off and lifting weights and doing whatever the hell they're doing, running 5 miles on the treadmill, whatever it is that they're doing, it offsets that frustrated energy. And so I can see a use for that. But still, going to the gym, coming home alone, going to work, stacking your money. You got $50,000 in the bank, a home, a car, all this. You look good, your chest built up, you all of this. And literally, though, you still hate women, but you want one at the end of the day. And what's crazy is that you hate women, or you hear all this negativity about women, and it's not even your experience. You haven't even had a woman or met a woman or try to individualize women enough to go out and say, well, let me try. Let me try. I know your relationship didn't work. I know your wife took all you had, and we still don't have all the reason for that, because we know men lie. We know these men get up on these comment sections, podcasts, and everything else and be lying through their freaking teeth. We know that. Other men know they lie. So I don't know why they keep taking the bullshit that these men say as gospel, because y'all know they be lying. But anyway, if that's what y'all want to do, that's literally what you call delusion. Even though they say women are delusional, that's literally the epitome of delusion. But they're logical and they're smart, and only women are delusional. So we're gonna skip over that. But it's a sad affair. It's a very, very sad day. And the truth of the matter is that winter has come for these men. And it's hitting a demographic of men. And we even see so many articles, Psychology Today and so forth. I was supposed to stop, but I'm going to close it. But so many uh, not scientists, psychologists and so forth are talking and have been talking about the epidemic of these lonely men and the uselessness of how men feel because they don't have a woman. And it's sad that they're buying into these lies. I mean, these young men, and some of them are, I'm beginning to see some changes. So some of them are. But for the ones that are scared and terrified and believing everything that all these other men are telling them, I feel horrible for them. I really, really feel horrible for them, because they're cutting themselves out. They're not even trying. The 23-year-old that was talking about losing his hair, I don't know what he looked like because it was on Reddit. I don't know what he looks like, but my thing is that, dude, cut your freaking hair off. Do whatever else you're doing, and go live your life and go talk to women and meet and find a woman who like bald guys. Or, I mean, there's a woman out there for everybody. There is a person out there for everybody. But yet, these young men are so terrified that they're scared to try. They feel hopeless and useless. And I hope things change. I really do. I know a lot of the older women that are my age, we feel a lot different about a lot of things. We're able to see things from a broader view because we have had the experience, we have had the life um, experiences and things like that. But these younger women, man, I feel sorry for y'all because these younger women are like, they are talking about stand on business. They are standing on business. Like they done with y'all for real, for real. And it's sad. And it's like, and y'all just keep digging a deeper and deeper grave with the same bullshit and rhetoric that y'all keep on saying. These younger women are really for real, seriously, like done with y'all, don't want y'all, ain't even trying to give y'all no chance. Like there's a few out there that still might want to date men or still, but the rest of them are like, and I want to touch real quick on this real quick. So many of these, so the times have changed so much with, um, especially with like an explosion of the LGBT community. I'm not even saying that it wasn't always around, but it's more now in this time in the forefront. And so it's not like with me and my age group when I was 20 something or in my 30s, it would have been a stigma for me to just be an out and out lesbian and just date a woman. Like that's the other option. That wasn't so much of an option when I was younger. It was like still taboo, still people gonna judge you, look at you. Look, all she do is hang around women. Like I ain't never seen her with no man, and blah, blah, and so but now it ain't no thing now. Two women, like two men. Like it ain't no thing now. And that is what the choice that a lot of these young millennials and millennials period and Gen Z women, like they're just going to a woman. Like it's just almost like a choice. Like they're just like, oh, don't get a man, I get a woman. And many of them may be, attracted to that period. But the whole point of me saying that is not a judgment at all. The thing that I'm really bringing to the forefront is that that's causing you guys to make it's even making it worse. It's even worse because they don't feel like they have to or want to be with no man. And all the rhetoric and stuff that y'all keep spewing and the hate and it's just digging a deeper ditch. Y'all mad and angry and whatever, but there's other men who are taking a lot of backlash and a lot of heat for the things that you guys in the front are saying. And y'all ain't even paying attention to them guys. Like y'all really don't sincerely give a shit whether or not these guys off themselves because they don't have a woman or they're exceptionally lonely or whatever. So to end that post, I wrote on that post, I talked about what I thought the problem was and everything, which it is. Um and of course, I got some pushback. I got two guys trying to go. Oh well, Well, one guy came back and told him. He said, "Well, if he said, just keep working out and just keep doing it." And so I was just like, "So you seriously like?" He said something about guys with abs. He was like, "No, well, the guys with abs, they always get women. They're always lucky." And I said, "So." You really think that having a six pack and having abs is going to help this man? Like everything's going to be different if he just gets six packs and abs, which is crazy because in the guy's post, he said, I go to the gym. I've been going to the gym. I'm in shape. That's what he said. And that's all that we have to go on. And you're literally saying if a guy has a six pack, everything else going to change. All the loneliness, he going to be all right in life. Like that is it's sad. It's really, really sad. So I said that and I came back with a comment and I was just like, you guys, that's fine. You don't want to believe me. I've only been a woman all my life. You don't want to believe me. That's fine. You know, um, but I said at the end, I said, but y'all are going to learn one way or another. Y'all gonna have to learn, and you're going to see the truth, And then another guy, because he wants to just really just be a smart ass and argue with women, he was just like, oh, well, we've already learned because we learned that we don't want y'all. That's cool too. That's absolutely fine too. But the guy in the post won't want a woman. He's lonely. He's sad. He's depressed. What y'all gonna do about him? Or are y'all just so hell bent on fighting women and trying to prove these outdated lies and points that these manosphere and red pill guys tell y'all that y'all really don't care about other guys' feelings and how lonely they are and how sad they are and how they feel like getting up? Do y'all really even care about men or no? Because I really don't think y'all do. I don't think y'all care about other men. I think y'all just want to fight women. You guys, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Um, you guys hit all notifications so that you'll know when I upload new videos. You guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until the next video, see you next time.